Krishna Bus Tour by Mitra Das, Chapter 9. Trana, eh? Manorama didn't smile. Get your passport and other papers ready before you go to sleep. We'll reach the Canadian border at 1 a.m. When they ask, tell them we'll be in Canada for a week. We won't be doing any work while there. We're on vacation. Don't say anything weird or funny or we'll be stuck at the border all night. If we look suspicious, they'll have us take everything off the bus and they'll search it. We arrived at the Canadian border and waited at the red light until the uniformed official came on board. I reported that there were 20 of us, including the driver, 10 from the U.S., 10 from the U.K., 1 from Ireland, and 1 from India. Our sleepy troop then walked into the office in their pajamas and full of suspense. The desk people wore sidearms and were friendly but routine. Thank you. Welcome to Canada. Next, please. With everyone back on the bus, one of the boys called out, "Roll call, A. 1A. Manorama radioed. We'll stop at Niagara Falls, a quick little stop in the dark. Everyone run out, have a look, and run back in. Niagara Falls, one more thing to check off your bucket list." I turned the inside lights on, and the message was passed from bunk to bunk. We parked near the sidewalk. "Everyone up," I said. "You get to see Niagara Falls." A groggy group stampeded by. "Do we need shoes?" "No, it's pretty warm." "I'm getting mine." "You don't need them. Let's just go." The girls joined us wearing pajamas with prints of ice cream cones and Disney characters. We heard the rush of water as we got closer, an ominous power in the dark. The wind changed directions, blowing mist over us. The girls screamed and ran. The boys imitated them, screaming and running. On our way back to the bus, the girls stepped in puddles with their stocking feet and screamed. The boys imitated again. This time Molly jumped into Radha Vinod's arms to be carried across a puddle. These people are entertaining at 2 a.m. No wonder Narayan wants to move to England. In Canada, the bus was no longer a toaster oven. The Toronto Hare Krishna Temple is an old stone church with pointed arches and towers. Devotees purchased the building in the 1970s when the neighborhood was still affordable. BMWs, Mercedes, and Porsches lined the street near the temple. Occasionally, a Bentley or a Rolls-Royce cruised by. Hare Krishna bumper stickers decorated rusty Toyotas with prayer beads hanging from their rear-view mirrors. 2 refrigerator trucks were parked in front of the temple. Volunteers ran up and down the ramps carrying trays and boxes, slamming the cooler door as refrigerator motors roared in the pristine neighborhood. Our economy cars blocked traffic to unload people and supplies as Ferraris waited politely. The Toronto Hare Krishna devotees were preparing for their annual Ratha Yatra festival, a parade where participants pull a large, colorful chariot down Yonge Street. Then the entire parade ferries across to Center Island, where a free feast is served to anyone who wants to eat. I figured the neighbors must be used to this, since it happens every year. Walking up the temple's stone steps, I wondered whether these neighbors ever visited the temple. The shoe rack was overflowing, so I added my sandals to the pile on the floor. The lobby was a churning sea of smiles and hugs. Volunteers wore hairnets and carried trays of food through the crowd. But most of the people were in the temple room, dancing to a lively kirtan. I planned to shower and join them. A kitchen volunteer helped me find the shower, then said, "There's a long line. Have you eaten yet?" "Everything is hot and fresh. Come, we'll take care of you." "It's one of the rules of the road," I said, "to always eat when it's ready." That made him happy. I then took my place in the line, despite my friends insisting there was no need for me to wait. "This is another rule I follow." He smiled. "Then with your permission, I should get back to my service." "Yes, thank you. You've helped me a lot." He disappeared into the kitchen, which was filled with volunteers cooking and singing. I loaded my plate with authentic Indian cooking, then noticed Madhava waving, motioning to the empty seat beside him. Madhava has a gentle South African accent. "Will you join me tonight with your guitar?" He asked as if I'd been doing him a great favor. He asked as if I'd be doing him a great favor. Every weekend, he's flown around the world to sing at festivals. With Madhava, there's a guaranteed audience, ready to immerse themselves for hours in kirtan. "Sure," I said. "What time?" 8. Muscles bulged from his sleeveless shirt. He wore an earring like a pirate. Despite his appearance, there's nothing flamboyant in his speech. "I really appreciate it," he said. "Your guitar, it adds a lot." "And is your son here with his mandolin?" "Yes." "Can he join?" "Yes." "I really appreciate it." After breakfast, I congratulated the cooks, then began a search for a quiet space to chant on my beads. My next mission would be to find a quiet space where I could meditate for 2 hours, something I've done every day since December 1975. I have a string of 108 beads, and I recite the Hare Krishna mantra on each bead, circling the rosary 16 times. Since quiet spaces are rare on bus tours, we have to make do with whatever space we can find. I would continue my 45-year habit no matter what came my way. I walked to the bus to chant, not stopping to look at anyone or the stone architecture or the landscaping or the interesting cars from the 50s or the kids walking in front of me singing cute songs or the signs written in both French and English. I didn't look at all this because I was chanting my japa. When I arrived at the bus, the engine compartment on the back was open. Manorama waved me over. He looked concerned. "It needs to go to the shop." "What's the problem?" Dravinaksha pointed his flashlight at the radiator. "It's got a leak. It's pretty bad." Manorama said, "It's a good thing we caught this now. In Toronto, we've got mechanics and a place for everyone to stay. It's a lot harder to deal with this on the road." Manorama was seeing the bright side and even showed a trace of a smile. "Can you drive with Dravinaksha? One of you will need to navigate." "Okay," I said. "I just had breakfast. I'm ready." Dravinaksha navigated, calling out directions. "Turn left here." "Okay. Now we're on this for 6 kilometers. Dravinaksha and I have shared driving on several tours. This time he was on the girls' bus. I learned their air conditioning wasn't working well. It gets really hot when they're cooking. But we're in Canada now. It's not an issue like it was in Texas. Dravinaksha directed me to an ugly part of town full of potholes and broken buildings. I backed into a gravel lot full of trucks. "It's a big job," the mechanic said as he wiped his hands on a rag. He was from India, and I saw even here he was servicing trucks decorated with Hindi and Punjabi scripts. "We'll have to take it out, clean it, and braise it. It'll take a full day to do it right." "The temple recommended you," Dravinaksha told him. "They said you're the best." "Hare Krishna," he smiled. "Bring it by tomorrow morning. We'll get right on it." The temple room was crowded. Narayan tuned his mandolin. Madhava smiled at us, sat straight and tall before the harmonium, closed his eyes, and began. For 1 hour he sang the same melody, building slowly, etching the mantra into everyone's mind. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. This is what everyone had come for, to taste the eternal. They could depend on Madhava to bring them there. Narayan and I dressed the sound with our strings like candy sprinkles, nothing distracting. We were there to support. Madhava's eyes were shut the entire time. A drone hovered overhead, shining lights, aiming a camera as Madhava sang. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The drone flew to the ceiling of the old church, then back into our midst. Some pointed, but most found the kirtan more interesting than the distraction. Digging deeper and quickening the pace of his singing, Madhava said, "A little louder, from your heart." When he introduced a second part of the melody, the kirtan soared past the drone. Minnie got up to dance. The lights were low, the sound was high, and it was a magic moment. The magic lasted for 2 hours. "One last time," Madhava requested again, "from your heart," then ended with Sanskrit prayers. Harer Nam Eva Kevalam. Footnote: the holy names of God are all you need to achieve your goal. Nothing else will get you there. Brihan Naradiya Purana. Everyone reciting with him. Then Sri Harinam Prabhu Ki Jai. Footnote: Ki Jai, jubilant praise to Srinam Harinam Prabhu, God, who has appeared in the form of his holy name. The applause of 200 people mixed with the roaring in my ears. Madhava reached over and touched my knee. "Thank you." He folded his hands and repeated this with each of the musicians before the crowd fell on him, patting him on the back, thanking him. He was engulfed by hugs and praise. He stayed calm, letting the honors slide off. It's dangerous to let it go to your head. The magic only works if you're humble, when you know it's not yours.